Welcome back, everybody. So, it's time for my what seems like yearly video for the Beatles Vinyl Tag 2026. We are going to be going through our little list here and see what we can come up with. So, I have all my questions written down here. I'll tag the channel that first put this together here in the title and the description. But let's go ahead and jump into it. So, favorite item of 2025. So, out of the entire year so far, or for 2025, I'm going with something that I got right at the end of 2025. This is a copy of Songs, Pictures, and Stories, but this has the sticker on it, the little banner for their appearance in Cleveland. So I got this for a really, really good price. All right. Now we have Apple label without a Beatle. So without a Beatle, without being a Beatles album or a solo Beatles. So I used to have a whole lot more of this kind of stuff. I would buy things just for being on the Apple label, just to have it. I've gotten rid of so much. So one of the only things I have left that follows that is this single by the Raha Krishna Temple. So one side is Govinda, the other side is Govinda Jaya Jaya. Okay, Beatles album with song lyrics that you like or hate or cringe. So we are going with this is off both of them off of Beatles' second album. We're going with well, which one isn't here? Ones that I hate or make me cringe. I hate You Can't Do That. Both lyrically, musically, as a song, everything. Hate that song. We go with one that you like. Where is it at here? Let's see. Going off the fly on this one because this one is mostly covers. We'll stick with the same one here. We're just going with She Loves You. Short, simple, sweet, and yeah, just one of my favorites there. All right, book, a Beatle book that is highly recommended. Any of the Bruce Spicer books I would highly recommend. I have almost all of them, but one that I would highly recommend is this one here, Rubber Soul 2 Revolver. I love that it has history of what's going on at the time, UK, US, covers both sides, has great photos, has advertisements, great scans of everything, and about anything that you might need to know, you're going to find in here. So highly recommend it. Let's see here. Did I buy the 2025 anthology? No. Did I like it? I liked all the remastered stuff from all three. Even though it wasn't a whole lot different, it still was better. I'm talking in terms of a lot of stuff, mainly just from Anthology 1. So the In Spite of All the Danger, That'll Be the Day, that kind of stuff. Not a whole lot of difference, but enough that you can tell. Enough to make it worth it. The reason I did not get it was the price point. It was just, for not a whole lot of anything new, was not worth the price. I did not care for the remix of Real Love. I much prefer the 90s one or the 2015 one. But I did like the Freeze a Bird. But not enough for me to buy. Just to have something to show, because we're talking about anthology. Here's my sampler from Anthology 2. Solo Beatles that would have liked to seen with a Beatle treatment show album if possible. So, like I said, I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. So, we're gonna have to go with. I'm gonna have to show off my all the best here. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen or have heard. I guess it's kind of a tie. Uncle Albert would have been a great one for the Beatles to do together, or Silly Love Songs. I could have seen either one of those being done pretty nicely like that. All right, I'm gonna skip the Beatles picture disc because I don't have any. I've gotten rid of so much stuff, like I said, these past couple of years now that I don't have any picture discs, Beatles picture discs anymore. A Desert Island Beatles comp. I'm gonna have to go with one of my favorites here. This probably would be the one that I would have to have. That's Rock and Roll Music. So this is a foreign copy. This is from Uruguay. It's just it's got everything that I would really want in a comp, I guess. It's all pretty much rock and numbers. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, that would be the one that I would go to. Let's see, underrated Beatles song with the album. So, from US, Rubber Soul, I'm Looking Through You. I think it's an underrated song, doesn't get talked about as much as I think it should. And I'm mainly speaking of the US album version. Just as personal preference, I always prefer the US albums over the UK ones, especially considering Rubber Soul. Let's see, Beatles picture sleeve. Most of mine are just your pretty standard picture sleeves. Nothing too special. It's all stuff that everyone has seen, or it's just not that interesting of a cover. So I'm going to have to go with this one here that, as a kid, I thought it was one of the best picture sleeves. Still think it's pretty great. So this is the Beatles movie medley from the time when real music came out. Just love that cover. It's the same cover for real music. Of course, you don't get the back cover of it, doesn't, but still pretty great. So I'm showing my picture sleeve there. Of course, this is Beatles movie medley with Fab 4 on film on the B-side. And I'm going to pick one here from the few extra ones to account for not doing the picture disc one. Beatles album with a strong memory. So, Yesterday and Today. This one has a very strong, fun memory for me. This is one of the only ones, one of the very few that I have from my original collection when I was a kid. And the reason that it kind of has a nice memory story is I was walking back from an antique store, and I had bought a Rolling Stones record at that antique store for a couple of dollars. And I stopped at a guitar shop to look around, and the guitar shop guy saw that I had a bag with the record in it, and he asked me if I collected records, I listened to records. I said yeah. And he asked me what I like. I said, well, Rolling Stones, Beatles, mainly. He said, well, up in my attic above the shop, there's a box of records that were my ex-wife's. He says, you can have them if you want them. And I said, okay, how much? And he said, give me $10, you can have the whole box. So he gave me a whole box of records, and it was all Beatles. Pretty much one of every of their early albums all the way up to Sgt. Pepper. So I've upgraded a lot of copies, so it was very nice for $10 to get all those albums, but this is one of the only ones I have left here from that original collection. I've upgraded since then, but so that's kind of a quick one there, and quick being almost 10 minutes. So maybe I will see you sometime again this year, or I guess I may see you on the next Beatle Tag. Peace.